he's gonna have to put up or shut up as far as that goes with the Heisman. But I think Florida State's gonna be too much for him. This is a big game, but he's gonna have. This is the coming out game for Joe Hamilton.
Challenge the Jets in Miami. Who would it be?
It's got to be the Colts. Colts, Peyton Manning. He just showed, as far as a rookie, he just showed so much experience in there, like he's a veteran, like he's a 10-year veteran. Plus, they got Edgar and James from Miami. He's a strong running back from out of the backfield. They dump off fast. They're going to be a real solid team.
They got an experienced quarterback now. They got Rich Gannon in the offseason. He's going to be their starter.
Yep.
They got Napoleon Kaufman at running back, and when you got Jet and Tim Brown at wide receivers, and Dudley's a tight end. That's an offense to continue.
That's a very.
This is always a rivalry, a big rivalry in the Big 8, Missouri and Nebraska. In the Big 10 last week, a major upset. Nobody would have ever thought of it. Wisconsin going down to Cincinnati, 17-12. You can't fault Ron Dane for that. 248 yards, 29 carries. It's still got to be a major candidate for the Heisman Trophy. But basically, Wisconsin's NCAA title hopes went down the tubes last week. Michigan comes into this game a 2.5-point favorite. They beat Syracuse last week 18-13. That was a tough physical game. Now is Wisconsin going to be hungry to come back at Michigan, even though they have that loss? They know they have no chance at the title, but the Big Ten title still gets them to the Rose Bowl, which is a big January 1st bowl game. What do you think Wisconsin has to do to contain Michigan?
Oh, a home game against Michigan, you know they're going to be sky high for that one. And especially after watching Cincinnati rip down the goalpost last week, that was pretty nice to see.
Okay, baseball. We got the Red Sox, the Yankees, Rangers, and Indians in the American League. National League isn't completely set. Braves in for sure. Might win 100 games if they haven't already.
They already did.
They did. They had 99 to win 100. Diamondbacks led by Randy Johnson. The Central, Cincinnati, and Houston. Mets are still iffy. I don't know the scores from earlier today, but I know they have to win every one of their games and hope Cincinnati, Houston wins 2 of their last 3. Do we have a caller? Caller?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you, Bill, why have you got your little boy in a Flutie shirt? Put him in a Miami shirt. This is Dave.
I got you, Dave. I know who you are. To be honest with you,
he doesn't know who he likes. Viking shirts, Yankees. He says he's a Red Sox fan.
You know, he reminds me of
Did you dress the guy next to you, too?
He made his own choice. What'd he say? What'd he say?
Did you dress the guy next to you?
No, I dress myself good, buddy.
Hey, Dave, I don't want to say nothing. I know where you work. We got kin that work there, so I'm gonna keep it cool.
Well, first of all, Miami, you know, Flutie's the mobile quarterback.
Right.
And with Thomas at the middle linebacker, he's going to cause some trouble, but Flutie can cause some trouble for Miami, too. I think it's going to be close. I don't think that Buffalo's going to win, but I think they'll cover the spread.
Well, I think the big problem Miami might have Monday night, Miami, you know, obviously a good team. I respect Miami, even though I don't show you any respect for them.
But Minnesota will cover the spread, too. I look for them to have a big game and come out of their shell for what they've been in.
Pretty tough. Looking at Nebraska's schedule, I see them going undefeated. I don't see anybody in their schedule that can stop them.
And you know the funny part about that, if Nebraska goes undefeated, we might have 3, 4, maybe 5 teams undefeated. Then what are they going to do? Because, I mean, Florida State isn't losing the game till the end of the year. If possible, they play Florida. That's the only tough game they have remaining. The rest of the year is against Florida. So you're talking, there's Florida State and Nebraska you both think that are going to be, you know, you think that's going to be undefeated. That's at least 2. We got a lot more to talk about. But what do you think about Nebraska this week against Southern Miss? Are they going to do anything different?
Well, Southern Miss started off 2-0 and everything like that, and they're playing good and everything, but Nebraska, I just like their offensive line. They'll outweigh everybody by 30 or 50 pounds, and after a while during the game, they'll just pound that. Sure, it's just like anything else. They let Iowa into the game early and whatever, and then it just took a toll on them at the end of towards the 3rd and 4th quarter. And they just pounded.
They have to go to Miami. So I mean, that's right in the middle of 2 gigantic games.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Penn State was actually looking past Pittsburgh to Miami. You know.
There's no doubt about it.
And we do know the star of that Penn State game, who I want to talk about, I think is going to be the Outland Trophy winner, is Al Harrington, linebacker from Penn State. This guy is the closest thing to Lawrence Taylor I've seen in 15 years. He can do everything. He blocks punts, he intercepts, sacks the quarterback.
He likes to pick on punters, too,
He picks on punters. He runs the whole, I mean, he'll go to the line and run across the whole line through gaps and get that running back 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he is going into Miami of Florida. And Miami, this is the best team they've had since, you know, Erickson from Miami of Florida really didn't have that great.
I think since the Jimmy Johnson days,
Yeah.
I think this is the turning point for Miami. This is a very huge game, and I really think they're going to come out winning this one.
I mean, Miami started off beating State and stuff like that.